talk about something that often gets overlooked, and that is the inner child. Whether you have ever thought about this or not, we each have one. Well, we were children at once, weren't we? Now, the inner child, if a little wounded and hurt and not dealt with, can often stay that way and really affect the way we react or respond to some situations or things. A lot of times we may not be aware of it, but we respond from that side of ourselves that connects with our hurts and our traumas or guilt. And the idea is to become aware of that inner child while you're at it, inner adolescent too, to take a look and see what your inner child is like. Spend a little time to actually meet your inner child if you've never done so. And there are many ways one can do this. But let me give you some examples of the kind of behaviors people have or the thought patterns that will speak to this hurt inner child. For example, feeling constantly guilty and wanting to please others, feeling like you want to always be perfect, everything has to be okay, still sort of looking to get validation from parents or people of authority, being a little passive aggressive, feeling that you're basically not good enough, feelings of shame, feelings of just feeling a little bit lost in terms of, oh, I don't know what to do, I need somebody to help me. I'm not good enough to think of something like that. So these are some ways that you can feel the inner child may not have had enough attention. Another way of finding this out is, like, if you're looking at some old pictures, you feel all misty-eyed and very, you reminisce and you get all sort of fretful and forlorn. If you lose yourself in fun, joyous activities, these are some things that can help you, that your inner child might need a little bit of attention. And why am I addressing this today? It's very important to really spend some time and meet the inner child. I've had people who have actually talked about this with me, and it's very important. It's worth the effort, because when you get to pay attention to that inner child and heal the inner child, a lot of things shift for you. Perspectives, the way you think, the way you approach, the way you behave, a lot of these things shift for the better. So after all, we are the only ones spending the rest of our lives with ourselves in this body and in this mind. So why not? Why not spend the time and give this effort? Because it's worth it. It's only going to help us. So one way that we could do this is, obviously, you guessed it, through meditation. It doesn't have to be anything out of this world meditation or terribly long or whatever. You can decide how long it wants to be. Basically, what you want to do is to sit still, center yourselves, and picture yourself, for example, sitting around a campfire. Maybe you were a kid who went on camping sometime, or you were part of the Scouts. Picture yourself sitting at a campfire, maybe even roasting marshmallows, and then invite your inner child in. See details about your inner child, invite him or her and pay attention. Give it some attention. See what she's wearing, what she wants to do. How does she feel? Engage in a conversation with that inner child and get her or him to tell you how they're feeling. Is there something specific they might want to mention to you? Maybe you both want to do a little activity together. Have a piece of paper next to you, and maybe you want to draw, maybe you want to paint. Just provide this for yourself. Another thing you can do is just, go out into nature, for example, sit under a tree, and again, just take a little moment and invite your inner child to come and sit with you. Maybe you both want to read a story, maybe you want to tell each other stories, have him or her engage and show you, tell you what's going on. That way, you can repeat this as many times as you see fit. If your inner child is feeling a bit hurt and wants to cry, let her. It's okay. That is a release. It actually helps with healing. There are many, many ways of dealing with inner child, but this is a simple way that you can just do in the privacy of your own space with yourself. You don't have to be with anybody else to do that. Sometimes it is helpful to do this with a group, but that depends on your comfort level. However, inner child is what often drives us. A lot of our motivation may stem from that space. And if there is someone specific, in your past when you were a kid has hurt you and you might have access to them or not, you don't really need them for this, you can engage their inner child as well. So you can have both of your inner children contact each other, talk to each other, see what it is that might be unsaid, and see if you can bring forgiveness to the situation. Believe me, this is going to be very helpful. And then at some future time, we can talk about inner adolescent, but I think you may already get the idea of how to work with that one. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please share it with your friends. You can also visit me on YouTube, my channel, The Core Shift. Until next time, namaste.